Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. So you know who I am. If you don't know who Ruckus are, we're the Wi-Fi guys who have a dog for our logo, right? That's how people know us in the industry. What is important as well is we're actually part of a bigger organisation called CommScope, and you'll find out why that's important as we go through. But CommScope help us with a lot of 5G technologies, which we see rolling in. But what I'm going to talk about today is mainly how AI is playing a part in networks and actually how they're evolving. So before we do that, there's a lot of trends in the industry, a lot of challenges that we're facing in the world, frankly. I'm not going to run through them because they're things that we all experience on a daily basis, okay? But there's actually a lot of things going on in technology that's really driving that growth. So, you know, whether it's things like changing the way that we all work, right? We all expect to be able to go home and work in the same way as we do in a coffee shop or in the office now. Whether it's evolutions to education and healthcare delivery, some really exciting things happening there, or even some specific technology things, so robotics or e-vehicles or IoT that I had mentioned a few times earlier. So all of these things are driving what is predicted to be 3% growth in IT spending this year and continued high levels moving forward. And those things all have some things in common, right? So they're all digital, right? That's fundamentally important for what we all do. Everything has to be delivered in a very sustainable way. That's key in everything. And again, I heard the guy from HP earlier talking about sustainability. It's very relevant. And everything has to be connected and really secured. And again, the previous speakers talking about security as well. So it all kind of relates in. But when it comes to the network, there are some real fundamentals that really underpin the modern networks. We've been talking about performance and reliability when it comes to networks for a long, long time, right? That's what we default to. What's becoming more and more important with networks around the performance and reliability is delivering it in a predictable manner. Not just for the highest performing clients, but for all clients. And you really can't deliver that without AI playing a part. It's just getting too complex for humans to do. So actually leveraging AI to help you turn your network into something that really delivers value for your business and insights is really important. We're actually seeing a lot of questions come to us around 5G, right? Is 5G going to kill Wi-Fi? It's a standard question that we get. I think that's a whole separate presentation that I could go into and we're not going to cover today. But what we see is 5G and Wi-Fi and IoT networks, the operational technology, need to combine. You need to bring them together to actually get the best value. Otherwise, you're segmenting and siloing the technologies and your business. And all of this is being requested more and more by our customers as a service, or at least as partly as a service. So being able to leverage that is really important as well. So we're just going to go through these areas quite quickly, or some of them anyway. So the first one is about that predictability. I laughed on the previous speaker when he mentioned that there was some of the stuff on there that was older than he was. Unfortunately, there's nothing on this slide that not only is older than me, I was selling Wi-Fi at the start. So I appreciate the 20 years, it's actually 25 years now, it's getting too long. So when Wi-Fi started, it was all about delivering performance. Every new standard was, we've increased the speeds and the throughputs that the peak users can get. But what we've seen over the last couple of iterations, and will really expand in Wi-Fi 7, that's launching this year, is it's all about building that efficiency and capacity, but for all users. Top users, the bottom users, and everything in between, to make sure everyone gets an improved performance from that network. And the Wi-Fi 7 is really going to pick up during this year. So we think sort of for the next sort of 4 or 5 years, the growth rate is going to be, I think 87% is the annual growth rate we're expecting. So AI, there are a lot of great things that you can do with AI. You can spend 20 seconds on the internet and you can create some images. soon. But actually, there are some real life things that AI can help us do today. Most importantly, AI can help identify issues. It can spot them before we can, before they become an issue for anybody on that network. It helps the IT team prioritize where there are issues and which ones are more severe. So you don't have to spend time trying to understand which ones I should spend time on first. You get a list of high priorities based on AI's knowledge of how it's impacting not just the network performance, but the user performance, which is the key thing here. And then it really helps you fix them because it gives you recommendations, how to fix those issues, what difference that's going to make. So it's really going to bring down the mean time to resolution for any issues that come up on your network. We'll also be able to understand the changes that are happening on the network and how that's going to impact performance. So if we make changes, what's the outcome going to be? How can I understand and compare how it was working before with how it's working now and take out users' guesswork, right? I want real facts on how the network was working before. And then make additional recommendations around how to continually improve that infrastructure. And we also want to be able to understand how and where I can make sustainability savings. So can I reduce the power output and the power usage from my network infrastructure without taking guesses on whether it's going to impact users? Yes, we could all shut off the Wi-Fi at night and hope that that's okay, but is that actually the right thing to do? Maybe using AI, we can actually control and power down certain access points based on real-life knowledge of how it's being used and go from there. So we've been working with AI in our platforms for a while. So we started a few years ago, really focused on the first couple of points that I mentioned on the previous slide, understanding how the network issues are coming about, where they may come about, and giving some insight to IT teams based on that, and then following that on with really growing into recommendations. We then added in a Melissa chatbot about 2 years ago. So real life human interactions, informal interactions with a chatbot that will help you through that process. We also are able at that point to integrate Melissa with things like Teams or Slack to again make the operations for the IT team much easier. About the same time, actually, we also started working with Graph AI to really begin to deepen the understandings that we have. And what we've seen this year is that's really developed on so that we can really understand the complexities and the relationships and dependencies of various things on the network. If I change this, how is it going to impact all these things down the line that you may not normally know until you make that change? Right, so that level of insight is now available. We're also able to use a technology called Cloud RRM that really allows us to drive down code channel interference to zero, using AI to understand everything that's going on in our Wi-Fi environment. And as we look forward, we're really trying to turn our attention to how we deliver the best quality of experience for all the users, devices, and applications who are using that network. So it's not using AI for the sake of using AI, it's delivering real-world outcomes that are measurable for organizations. As well as my favorite, which is generative AI, which will mean that even I can configure a network. That's the plan. So there's loads of stuff that I've just talked about there, but what's the actual impact? What does this mean for organizations? So these are real-world figures from a company called Vector in the US, who are a partner of ours and have been using a lot of this technology over the past couple of years to really understand how it impacts their IT organization and their business. And we've seen massive improvements to the experience that the users of their network and their customers have had just by cutting down the time it takes to find a resolution. And that increases productivity for a business in every measurable way. It's created time with IT teams, time for IT to focus on the whole range of other things that IT organisations need to think about. Save huge amounts of money for the organisation, both in productivity and time savings, also in reducing the amount of training that people need to go on, because actually the systems are a lot smarter and a lot more directionally led around what needs to be done. And most importantly, for me, it's improved the service to the customers that they actually deliver. So the churn of those customers is massively reduced because the customers are seeing the benefits of all of this. So moving away from AI just slightly and really complicating things, we're seeing all sorts of networks coming together. So we're seeing, as I mentioned at the start, Wi-Fi kind of coming together with private 5G networks and operational technology infrastructures. And really, there's a need for using AI software as part of that, but in a single unified platform. There's no other way to manage all of that without using AI in a single platform. So that's a great first step, but that's not really a game changer. That doesn't really change the way that IT are going to work. What really changes it is a single policy engine that will work across the various RAN technologies and leveraging the AI apps to make sure that it's very simple to deliver a consistent user experience for users, for applications, and for devices, regardless of how they're connecting to that infrastructure. And allow policies to be set that allow you to segment and tunnel traffic across various different mediums based on what's appropriate for that user, for that device, or for that application. So these, the ability to actually take different types of traffic and route it through different networks based on what you think is important, fundamentally offers a whole range of opportunities for users to build out infrastructures that they would have struggled before. So we have a customer at the moment who is a large manufacturing customer. They make huge rolls of cable. CommScope make huge rolls of cable. It's us, right? And we make these huge rolls of fibre cable. They sit on huge rolls like this, and then they sit in a warehouse. But actually, they also sit in an external site. That site is huge. I mean, we're talking, kilometers in some cases in terms of direction. Wi-Fi just does not work in that type of environment. So we've built a private 5G network for that part of the infrastructure to allow us to still understand where content is and where things are. And actually being able to integrate all this together will make a massive difference to how we manage that site and our productivity. The last piece of the puzzle is as a service. How does that all come together? So using all of those elements and that software in a unified platform, but then adding in options around how users consume that network. So yes, we can go out and we can deliver that as an on-premise solution managed exclusively by that IT team. That's fine. Yes, we can deliver that in our cloud infrastructure, and we can help manage that. Most importantly, and I think most valuably for customers, we deliver that with partners. So partners can deliver this service, all of that technology on a platform, leveraging various infrastructure as a service options to build subscription options as suits them. This is what really changes the game for customers in terms of being able to focus on the business outcomes. What is this delivering for me, and how is it improving my business, and not the technology? We can deliver the insights. We can simplify how that's deployed and managed and used moving forward. But we can also take ownership of a lot of that pain and allow the business to focus on the right sort of things for their business. Now, I've talked about a single platform a few times during this presentation. That single platform is a reality. It's there today, RUCKUS One. And if anyone was in the earlier session, you would have seen this platform being demonstrated. You would have seen a lot more detail than I'm going to talk about today. But what it allows you to do is deliver a single unified management and network assurance offering. You can easily see how every element of that network comes together, whether that's Wi-Fi, 5G, moving forward, IoT is included as well. Our switching range, ICX, is included there. It's got security options built in. We're integrating that along with APIs to make sure we're connecting with all sorts of IoT offerings as we go. And really that management, control, security, policy, assurance, and the IoT for multi-access network services really allows our customers who are changing, their needs are changing on a regular basis, to really have the ability to deliver something that solves those challenges. So for hospitality, they don't care about IT, they care about guest experiences. For education, it's all about the learning outcomes for students. For manufacturing, it's how uptime for machines, right? Whatever industry you think about, there's actually a thing that's important to them that is measurable. And using a platform like RUCKUS One, whether it's deployed, as I said earlier, in public cloud, private cloud, hybrid with a partner, however you want to do it, it allows businesses to focus on the things that's most important to them. So, just to finish off, performance is important. That hasn't changed. But what's really, really key is making sure you're delivering that in a highly predictable manner. And you can understand how things that are happening on that network will actually impact that performance for every user, every device, every application. And the only way to do that is to use artificial intelligence and machine learning. It physically isn't possible any other way. But we're enabling that to be done in a way across multiple networks, right? I'm not even going to ask the question, how many people are integrating private 5G networks in their infrastructure today? Because I suspect the answer is 0, right? It's very niche at the moment for certain types of environments. It's going to explode. And there's no doubt that IoT is already exploding, right? So we're seeing that more and more. And the thing that's been holding IoT back, especially in the enterprise, has been the complexity of it. So actually bringing that all together and be able to set single policies for how everything's going to work in the infrastructure simplifies that for customers. So that would certainly make a big difference. As I say, and being able to deliver that in whichever way our customers want to, right? We're not prescribing to our customers, you have to buy this hardware, you have to do it this way with a subscription basis. You have to use the cloud. We can do anything, right? It's all about what's right for the customer to deliver against their business objectives. Please come and speak to us after the event on the stand upstairs. If you have any questions, want any more details about anything at all, have a look at our website if you want to get more details on RUCKUS One, and just come and see us if you want a live demo or for us to set up a trial for you to have a look at it and play with it. It's all available. Thank you.